to the Matriarchs, the place where we keep it real, keep it honest, and most of all, keep pushing forward. Let's talk about it. Rejection, the gut-wrenching no, the door that slams in your face, the dream that doesn't go as planned, and then there's failure, the thing we avoid at all costs because we're afraid of looking weak, afraid of not being enough. But here's the truth. Rejection isn't the end. It's redirection. And failure, it's just the price of success. So today, we're flipping the script. We're breaking down why rejection stings, how to turn setbacks into setups, and why the fear of failure is the biggest lie holding you back. Because sis, the only real failure is never trying at all. Let's get into it.
That's right. So every strong woman has been knocked down at some point, right? Both you and I have, especially. Mm-hmm. But what makes her powerful isn't avoiding failure. It's how she gets back up. And that's kind of the most important part of what we're going to talk about today. So today we're diving into how to handle rejection and failure like a boss and why you need to stop taking things personally. And we'll discuss some iconic women who turn their no into an even better yes. So grab your coffee, your tea, or whatever you need, and let's get into it.
Yes. So one thing that I did not know when we were researching for this episode was I knew rejection hurts, right? We all know that. But I didn't know that it activated the same part of your brain as actual physical pain, which is interesting because, we all know it does hurt and it's hard. And so I found that crazy.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. That was definitely news to me. But I think it makes sense,
Yes. Yeah. For sure.
We can be rejected by friends, family, sports, different activities we're in, or even, if you are into sports, that specific sports team that you really want to be a part of. And you're never going to go through life without having experienced rejection. So I think learning to deal with that is going to be a game changer. And that's hopefully what we're going to help you, learn today. So
yes. Yeah. We have to learn that it's not about us not being enough because that's not what it is, right? It's just, it wasn't the right fit or the right moment or the, right road or path for you to go down.
Yeah. I think that's a really hard thing to understand is, we do take things personally. And as I've gotten older, and I know you have too, you learn that the old saying where when, one door closes, another one opens.
Yeah.
I believe that wholeheartedly. And so, sometimes we take a door shutting as a rejection, but when it's really, we weren't meant to be on that path. And a lot of times we can look back and say, oh, I see it now, whereas I couldn't see it enough. So, like you said, just the situation wasn't the right fit. Right. And it, just don't let rejection define you. Let it refine you. So that's going to be something that is going to take an adjustment for those who really take things so personal. But you can get there and we're here to help. So
yeah. That's why today's episode is called Rejection is Redirection. And we want to talk about how to deal with that rejection and learn to redirect our paths.
Yeah, exactly. So, just feel it, don't feed it. Mm-hmm. So feel the redirection, just don't feed it with negative thoughts or overthinking it. So just acknowledge that disappointment, but then don't let it define you. Just kind of learn from it, feel it, and then move on.
Yeah. So. Yeah. It's okay to be sad. We just have to remember to move along and then also look for the lesson. What can you learn from that rejection? Maybe it's you want to do that. Maybe you want to try again for the same thing, but it's in a different way or we just have to learn how to go about that. Yeah,
exactly. Just keep moving. The only way that rejection wins is if you stop trying. And, I think we choose our battles, right? To some degree, but beyond that, one thing I always tell the girls is who are you going to let win this? We all go through battles, as I call them. Mm-hmm. Who are you going to let win this battle, right? Are you going to let doubt and fear and, or are you going to take the victory? So I think that's just an important way to look at it. So,
right. Yeah. And we just have to remember that every no can get us closer to the right yes. So look at it positively instead of negatively.
Exactly. And, sometimes that yes takes a while. It's not like always, right in front of you. Sometimes it can take, even years. For instance, I don't know if you're familiar with Lainey Wilson. She's a country artist. And it's funny because I don't listen to a lot of country. I listen to some, but I totally became obsessed with her because she's just so real and she's very vulnerable and like transparent about her journey.
Yeah.
And what I love so much is she really fights for girls to like follow their dreams and not give up and overcome rejection. And she talks about it a lot. So not only is her music amazing and her voice is adorable, she's like the most Southern drawl you've ever heard in your life. And it's so cute, but she's very encouraging and inspiring to specifically girls because she was rejected for like, I want to say like 10 years. Wow. And then she is totally in love with her family, but she knew that like God was calling her to do this. And so she left her family and she got this like tiny camper. There's one episode on her documentary on Netflix. And I hope that they create more episodes because I really was into it and then realized there's only one episode, but you should look her up because she talks about how she like stayed in this camper in Nashville for a year, for a long time. And she felt very lonely at times, but she just knew what was around the corner. And it took her a long time. So she's one of many examples of not letting rejection, shut her down. Right. And now she's like this massive, massive success. But beyond that, she's using her platform to really inspire and empower girls. So she's a great example for sure.
Oh, I love that. So we can use that rejection to also build resilience, right? And confidence. We can grow a mindset and see challenges as opportunities instead of failures. I kind of have an example for this. So Emma last year for softball was really struggling. It came kind of easy to her up until last year. Yeah. She was hitting left-handed and she's right-handed and she struggled and could not get a hit. She was just kind of in a slump for a little while. And so we started practicing every day outside in the afternoons or early in the morning, depending on, what we had going on. And she started seeing progress. She was noticing that practice every day was helping her actually get hits again. And then she started getting hits. And then she got to move up in the lineup and she was hitting like second and third. And I think maybe even first one time or something, I don't remember, but she was so excited because, she had been working so hard to get that. And then she finally did. And instead of just giving up, like I probably would have when I was younger, she kept pushing on and, got there.
I love that.
So, yeah.
That's a great example. And she's just truly the sweetest. She's so sweet. I'm glad she put in the work, and got there. It's so rewarding.
And she didn't always want to, how we all are with things. So we'd have to push her to sometimes. But then once she got out there, she enjoyed it and had a great time and realized it was helping.
I love that. That just reminds me of the quote. I think it was Eleanor Roosevelt. I think. But it was do something every day that scares you.
Yes.
And, her point was, and I really hope that was Eleanor Roosevelt. I love her. But her point was like, if you get yourself out of your comfort zone, you're going to grow.
Yeah.
So yeah, good for Emma. I love that.
It's good to have friends around you or family and, someone to push you to get out of that comfort zone. And
exactly.
Keep trying.
And if you're one of our listeners that doesn't have a great family home life or someone in your life that isn't encouraging and inspiring you or, that you have to reach out to, I mean, truly, Meg and I genuinely want you girls to reach out to us.
Yeah.
We really want to help and be that person for you if you don't have someone in your life who is there for you. So, because it is so important.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Some people you can't choose that are, around you, but there are others that you can.
Yep. That's exactly right. Well, girls, just, remember to this saying of like fail fast, learn faster. The quicker you fail, the quicker you learn. And there's no way you're ever going to get through life learning and growing without failing. And that's okay. Like for, a recovering perfectionist that still deals with having struggles with perfection.
Yes.
I always thought, like I had to be perfect. You can't fail. You can't make mistakes. And it's just so unhealthy. And so once you understand that like part of life is failing and all you have to do is learn from it, then you'll grow and then you become, the person you want to be, or you'll get to accomplish the things you want to accomplish. So just remember that and go fail. Seriously. Mm-hmm. The other saying is if you're not failing, you're not trying. Yeah. And I don't know whose quote that is, but I like it. It's a good one.
To look that up. Yeah. And so celebrate those small wins, whether they're small or, or just getting you towards that direction that you want to get in. And that can help build your confidence.
Absolutely. It's, as we talked in the previous episode about, growing your confidence, this is one of the things we talked about was like doing things, like you don't just become confident. You have to do things to build your confidence. And this is a great example of that. So,
yes. Yeah. All right, let's wrap things up with a quick game. We're calling it Rejection or Redirection. I'm going to tell you a story about someone facing a rejection or a setback, and you have to guess, was it just a rejection or did it actually turn out to be a redirection to something better?
Okay, so this is going to be fun. I'm excited. Let's do it.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. This person was turned down by a major label after performing in front of them. They were told their music wasn't marketable enough. What do you think? Rejection or redirection?
Well, I'm definitely going to have to go with redirection.
You're right. It was Lady Gaga. She went on to become, a global superstar. And she redefined pop music and has inspired millions ever since.
Yeah, and that's one of so many examples. I mean, Lainey Wilson pretty much had that same story, and I'm sure there's a lot of, a lot of artists. So but good for her for not giving up.
I know, right? Okay, this athlete didn't make the high school basketball team. Rejection or redirection?
Redirection.
Yep, you're right again. It was Michael Jordan. And this is it's crazy to me when I hear that all the time. But he used his rejection as fuel to work harder and become one of the greatest basketball players of all time.
Yeah. And for those of you that don't know, Michael Jordan, who was literally the greatest basketball player of all time, was cut from his basketball team. Was it his freshman? I know for a fact freshman year.
Okay.
And then I think that's when he was going to prove him wrong. So if you can only imagine if Michael Jordan would have quit because he got cut from his freshman basketball team. Can you even imagine basketball without
it was
Michael Jordan?
All 4 years, because this says didn't make the high school basketball team. So that would be all 4 years here.
Yeah,
right?
It must have been. Yeah, I've heard this story before, and I knew it was it's crazy to me that. And there was, I think Scottie Pippen actually had the same thing happen to him.
Oh, really?
But there's a lot of good examples out there, but obviously everyone knows Michael Jordan. So
yes. All right. Story 3. This actress was told she'd never make it to Hollywood and was even advised to quit acting. Rejection or redirection?
Well, she was definitely rejected, but hopefully she took it as redirection.
Yes, it was Jennifer Lawrence, and she went on to win Academy Award and became one of the highest paid actresses in the world.
My goodness. I can only imagine if we took 100 famous people and interviewed them, every single one of them would have a story of rejection that they redirected and didn't give up. Yeah. I've heard so many stories over the years. Or people that that are trying to grow or start something like a business or a podcast or, whatever it might be. Yeah. I had a mentor who said Rome wasn't built in a day. And I think sometimes we think that success has to come fast. And when it doesn't, we want to give up. That's our human nature. But, I've heard so many stories in the business world that like people were on the brink of quitting because they just had enough. And then that's when they, end up having major success.
Yeah.
So I just know if we took 100 famous people or successful people or whomever by the world standards, they would have a rejection story and a redirection story. So,
All right. I'll give you one more. This one was rejected by the first few publishers she approached with her manuscript, but eventually someone gave her a chance. Is it rejection or redirection?
Redirection, of course.
They've all been.
But tell me who it is.
It's J.K. Rowling. The rest is history. Harry Potter's now one of the successful book franchises. No, you're good.
I cut you off. You want to repeat that since I was blabbing?
Harry Potter's now one of the most successful book franchises ever.
I have the most embarrassing confession to make. J.K. Rowling, I hope you're not listening to this. I did not know J.K. Rowling was a female.
Oh.
You're like, have you lived under a rock, woman? How did I not know that? Did you say you didn't either?
No.
Okay.
Because I'm like, or how do we know now that?
I know. Maybe we should Google this. Listen, did I read some Harry Potter growing up? I did.
I wasn't allowed to.
I know. I remember. I was like a closet.
Yeah. Oh, she's beautiful.
Oh, is she? Now I want to look her up. Oh, yes. You go, girl.
She's definitely.
I love that. Well, I'm sorry, J.K. Rowling, that we didn't know you were a female.
Yes.
I like the initial. I have only ever heard it. Well, no, I've heard some initials for females, but it's more often men.
Yeah.
But I like that. Maybe we should start giving girls more,
Yeah.
Mine would be TL.
Joanne.
Oh, okay. All right, girls. So let's wrap this up with one truth bomb. Rejection is just life's way of redirecting you to something better. And failure, that's just proof that you're in the game and you're in the right game. So don't forget that and keep pushing. So next time you hear a no, remember it's not a stop sign. It's an orange detour sign leading you towards something golden. And the next time fear tries to hold you back, ask yourself, what is the worst thing that can happen? And what if the best happens instead? Okay, so now we want to hear from you. DM us or tag the Matriarchs and tell us what's one rejection or failure that actually led you somewhere better. Let's share the wisdom because this tribe is all about learning, growing, and rising together. And hey, if this episode spoke to you, send it to a friend who needs to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and tune in next time because we're just getting started. And until then, keep rising, keep pushing, and never let a no stop you. We'll see you soon.